we asked our employees, and by the way, this is one of the few meetings you can tweet all you want, put it on your Facebook pages. In fact, I encourage you to do so because I think it's good for our customers, our students, our employees, and people around the Valley and the world to know the kinds of opportunities you get when you come to Chegg and the kinds of people that are interested in improving education.
I've been tweeting about you on the way here, so if you want to look at my feed.
So,
if you ask a bad question, I'll tweet about that.
Exactly. Well, then I won't ask my first question, which was, is it humbling to stand next to a man who's better looking than you? but I won't ask that question. So let me start with, obviously you're known, to the degree that you're known on the West Coast, it's because somehow or another you took a 26-year-old entrepreneur who was born in Dobbs Ferry, New York, my hometown, who went to school in Boston, who moved out to California, to be the youngest person ever to donate that sum of money to any one thing, to not a cause that everybody has heard of, but the city of Newark. Either what did you say or what the hell was he thinking, but what are we going to do with $100 million? Let's start there.
Well, I friended him.
Did he accept it?
Yeah. Look, Mark Zuckerberg and I were coming to the same conclusion in America, beyond even just understanding that the greatest national security threat in this country clearly is our inability to educate people at high levels on a consistent manner across the board. That's the urgent, real problem in many ways that's facing our country. But more than that is this understanding that there's people who are proving, innovators like yourselves all across America are proving that no matter where a kid comes from, that they can achieve the highest levels and go on to any school that they want to. And so what's the problem? The problem really is we haven't taken these islands of excellence and made them the norm or a complete hemisphere of hope. And so when he was looking at his philanthropy, he was saying, look, I could support KIPP schools, I could support Teach for America, all these great organizations. Or I could find one city and say, you know what, let's bring all of that innovation together to one place and change our country. And he has no connection to Newark, New Jersey.
That was my point. I'm not sure, other than having visited you, I'm certain he had never been there.
Yes. And so what he looked at was more what city is most ripe for this kind of investment. We have a young city, we have a small size, nimble, but in many ways we're the #1 media market in the country. We are a city that has a lot of attention on it. If you could do it in Newark, then the thought is you can do it anywhere. It can become a model for excellence.
Well, and something I learned when I left Yahoo and I went to go work for the One campaign for Bono and I traveled around, it's you could spend a lot of money, you can have a great idea, but without great leadership, it just won't work. So
well, you know that I think friends of mine that are in the world of venture capital, especially out here, always say to me, look, the business model is important, but what's most important is the team that you assemble and the people that are working on it.
Well, we agree here, and we think it was a good use of his money, and we're thrilled that he did it. And I would. So the next question I have for you is this one, which is, it's hard for people here to understand just how devastated the city that you run now was versus this sort of beacon it's becoming. When you walk into a situation like that, how do you start?
Well, look, one of my favorite stories to tell is about my first months as a Newark resident, where I met an incredible tenant leader who I wanted to help out, and she was very sympathetic to me because she saw that I was the one that needed help. And she stood me in the middle of Martin Luther King Boulevard and asked me to describe what I saw, and I talked about the problems, the drug dealing, all that. And she said, well, look, if you want to help me, you could never help me. And she started walking away, and I said, what do you mean? And she said, because the world you see outside of you is a reflection of what you have inside of you. And if you're one of those people who only sees problems and darkness and despair, that's all there's ever going to be. But if you're a person who sees hope and opportunity and love, who sees the divine, then you can make a difference. And so what you all are is just that. You saw the world not as it is, but this creation here, the founder, you created ideas, something that doesn't even exist, you can't weigh them, but are transformative, and you've made them real, and it's now affecting thousands and thousands of people who are struggling financially, helping them save thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's the same thing with Newark. It is a potential-laden city with a glorious history, which you know.
Yes,
it was really one of the heights of America. In fact, it was on the front page of Harper's Magazine years back in the 20th century as the most livable city in America. And so
I do laugh though, because people in New York like me who are idiots and pay a fortune to get these views of the river to look at New Jersey, right? And New Jersey has the most glorious views, particularly the city of New York.
And so people like Michael Porter, who's this Harvard guru who writes about competitive advantage in everything, once told me that Newark, New Jersey is the city with the most underachieved potential. It has so much competitive advantage. And so I started getting more and more pumped and really falling in love with the city of Newark and the incredible people that I get to work with on a daily basis, because there was this stubborn love, this unyielding vision, this indomitable sense of will that our city is going to reveal itself. And this is what I get to do every day. But the reason why I'm excited to be out in Silicon Valley today and visiting with a lot of these companies goes back to what I said before, is one idea can disrupt a reality in glorious ways. And that's what we've been looking for in Newark, is those game-changing ideas that can actually help change it. So some of the companies, we talked about Twittering before, we've taken that platform now and we crowdsource thousands of Newarkers and helping us create better government efficiency, because...
Well, explain what you did in the snow. Everybody here knows, because this is a cold winter day to you, California.
Yeah.
But the East Coast was buried, and the mayor became famous, and now he's got other mayors who compete with you on Twitter, by the way. I noticed that. And Mayor Bloomberg got ripped in New York City, including by my mom, about not cleaning the cities, and places like Brooklyn didn't even get touched. Explain how you used this how you changed the perspective of people and how you got the work done.
Well, there's two levels to it. The very practical level is, the worst snowstorm, one of the top 10 worst snowstorms in the last century that hit the East Coast. And, immediately I usually, when a bad snowstorm, I'm in a command vehicle where I'm talking to my staff using cell phones. But now suddenly I built up over 1 million Twitter followers, and thousands of them are Newark residents. And suddenly I was able to get messages instantly from them about what was going on. So it helped me better direct my workers to address the issues. But even more than that, when you have such a horrible snowstorm, I started getting calls for help for people that need to get out to go to dialysis, mothers who were without diapers. And suddenly I was able to respond to constituent needs at a level that I wasn't able to before. And then another level down from that is the fact that we tend to view government as some kind of sort of inhuman people sitting behind some desks making stupid decisions. And what Twitter's been able to do is humanize New York's government in a lot of ways. Because not only do I talk about the kind of stuff that most politicians talk about in their tweets, I will be at this place giving this speech, but I get to tell the truth. Look, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I just dug out an ambulance, 5 volunteers stopped to help me out. It's incredible, the power of doing good and small acts of kindness. And before you knew it, my Twitter feed was blowing up, not with just people asking for help, but people that were bragging to me that, hey, I dug my car out, I dug the other person's car out, and it became this incredible goodwill during that storm that was just awesome, that was feeding and sourcing, and during a cold, cold winter, in many ways in my city we discovered an invincible spring.